22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy. When we open our eyes today and look around America, we see America not through the eyes of someone who has enjoyed the fruits of Americanism. We see America through the eyes of someone who has been the victim of Americanism. We don't see any American dream. We've experienced only the American nightmare. We haven't benefited from America's democracy. We've only suffered from America's hypocrisy. And the generation that's coming up now can see it and are not afraid to say it. 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 And are not afraid to say it.
And are not afraid to say it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Black Westchester Magazine presents the People Before Politics radio show every Sunday 6 to 8 on InTheMixRadio.com. Of course, this is AJ Woodson, your host. Damon K. Jones still on hiatus. Might call in a little bit, but I think he will be in the studio next week. Got something special planned for next week. Lorraine Lopez is not here today. Shout out to her. Maxwell will not be here today. Shout out to him. But we do have Dr. Robert Baskerville from the Brooklyn Baskervilles in the place to be.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I just want to get started by saying, it is official. It is official. Black Westchester is in print. It is official. It should be hitting the street near you real soon. If you have a business or location that you want us to carry the paper, please give us a call. Hit us on email. Tell us you want to carry the show. You want to carry the paper, and we make sure that we bring it to you or meet you, and you come pick them up from us, whatever. Locations right now, the Mount Vernon Library. The Mount Vernon Library. I just have it on me right now. That's what you're talking about? Oh. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna do that until I do the show. I always start off like this. Oh, always. Anyway, going back to whatever this is my little intro. It's always a little we're carrying it right now. Locations people have been calling the Mount Vernon Public Library, plenty of copies. The Mount Vernon Post Office, Food Town Rite Aid. Famous barber shop on Fisk Place, that little urban clothing store on Gramerton, right 2 doors down from Dunkin' Donuts. Of course, you can get crazy copies at Mangoville Meat Mart, 133 South 4th Avenue, Mangoville Restaurant Bar and Grill, 134 North Avenue, New Rochelle, and Freddie's Soul Caribbean Cafe in Harlem on Adam Clayton's Powell. Between 119th and 120th. They'll have copies of that because Mangoville, that's all the same owner, and he's on the cover. So you should see it in the HSBC Bank on Tarrytown Road in White Plains starting tomorrow. You will see it in the New Rochelle Post Office. Many more locations to come. Anybody who knows where the studio in the mix, we just that building is going to have it in the entranceway when you first come in, so you'll be able to get a copy. All the other shows will be able to get a copy. And by this week, we're going to run through Yonkers in the next couple of days. Running through White Plains, Greenberg the next couple of days. Maxwell's going to come pick up a pack, and he's going to run through Peekskill. And then Andre Rainey going to try to get us in the Peekskill City Hall. We're going to be at Mount Vernon City Hall on the first floor. And many more locations. But like I said, if you want to carry it, come holler at us, and we will definitely arrange to get you copies. 60,000 copies throughout the county. That's it, yo. This is the first month. August, the debut. September's coming soon. We're putting a little tribute to the Hispanic Heritage Month. So a portion of the publication will be dedicated to that for September. September ads are selling now. So the cutoff is the 15th. Please do not wait. There's not a lot of space left. So if you want to, holler us right now. Get your ads right now for September. That's it, y'all. I think I talked enough. I just had to do a little intro. You know what I'm saying? I had to big it up once again. Just show you again. Black Westchester has gone print. Black Westchester has gone print. Okay. I'm telling you couldn't see the whole paper, so I got to bring it back so you can get a better shot of it. There you go. There you go. That's better. That's better. That's better. That's better. That's better. There you go. There you go. You see the whole paper? There you go. There you go. Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. As always, Dr. Robert Basketball's in the house.
Oh, okay, there I go. I was wondering where I was.
I'm saying, I do the little intro every week, you know what I mean? So it's just like everybody just sitting there while I'm talking. So I got a me screen, you know what I'm saying? So
Got you.
You know what I mean? And then, sometimes I'm talking and y'all are walking around and stuff. I switch to that screen so everybody don't see y'all walking around and, doing the things y'all be doing and, all that stuff. Shout out again to Lorraine Lopez. Had a great time. Invited to a cookout yesterday. Shout out to her sister's house. Sister Susie, I believe. Susie. Shout out to all of, met another brother, Hector. He's works with David in Corrections. He's the head of the Hispanic whatever their fraternal organization is for correction officers. He's in charge of that. He was the head of that, so he was holding it down. It's funny, talking to him was kind of talking to Damon. I mean, they got different ways of approaching things, but the same passion about defending their people and standing up. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely, we had a great conversation. So that was cool. Enjoyed myself in Poughkeepsie. You know what I'm saying? Got out of the little Westchester area, out of Mount Vernon. Chilled out, nice fresh air. It was a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So shout out to them. So
shout out to Lorraine.
Right. Shout out to Kevin Bunch.
Yes, Kev.
Shout out to Kevin Bunch. He said listening and reading hard copy of Black Westchester, getting a double dose of BW. God bless. Shout out to Kevin Bunch. We have Miriam LaCroix. You know what? I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Is that how you pronounce it?
LaCroix, I believe.
LaCroix? Mm-hmm. She's an immigration lawyer, and she's doing articles for Black Westchester on immigration. And her first article, she has one in this current issue about social media and how social media can derail your visa applications or approvals, and she breaks all that down. And I would never have thought of that. So that's she's gonna be bringing good information every month or as often as she wants. Shout to Rose Dixon, my daughter's mother. How are you doing?
All right, shout out to you, Rose.
On the check-in, shout out to Marv Burke, the owner of Holla Magazine in Atlanta. Met him some years back when we were doing the Joe Buttons video shoot in Miami, where that picture with me and Gloria Velez is taken. Met him at that video shoot, and I was about to move to Atlanta, and we got together, and his office was not too far from where I was living. And I got on board to bring them more national attention to the magazine, while they introduced me to the more of the local, scene. And it was a good little fit. So I was rocking with them for a minute. Holla Magazine. Shout out to Marv. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Shout out to Vaughn Lee. Vaughn Lee? Is that the Vaughn Lee? As in DJ Cool V from Biz?
I must admit that's
Oh, I really wasn't asking you out loud. I'm saying it out loud because the only reason I said that because the
want me
name.
to answer that?
Actually, that is. I'm checking the page. Shout out to Cool V. Long
Yeah.
time no see. Lifelong DJ for Bismarcky.
Word.
He's checking out the show right now. Hector Santiago, always on the check-in. Hector, I got copies at the studio. If you feel like coming through, I don't know if you're back. Hector's going to be in our September issue. He walked to Albany for a walk to Albany for mental, to bring attention to mental health, and we're going to talk to him about that. Hector walks to Albany. That's going to be the name of the article.
Is that the brother who spearheads the?
Stop and Shake.
Okay.
Yes, same dude.
Okay, I didn't.
So,
Okay.
and of course, last but not least, I do see you over there. Uncle Frank's on the check-in as always.
Yeah,
Frank Trulio, and I don't know who's calling me now while I'm on the air.
Frank, what's up, Frank?
Whoever just called me, I can't talk. Call the station, 718-705-4959. Yeah, shout to Frank Trulio Jr. Trusco Supplies, Trusco where the trucks go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Real talk. He's a big supporter of Black Westchester, so I'm gonna give him his little 2-second commercial real quick. Yo, in the wintertime, when your salt comes, everybody, for real talk, his salt is cheaper than Home Depot. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where y'all need to go. Y'all go to Home Depot. Y'all can get the biggest stuff. Y'all can get it at a cheaper price. He's local, support local businesses if you're in Mount Vernon. And then the rest of the year, garden supplies, plants, all your garden supplies, buildings, all that stuff. Bob goes there to get some stuff for his yard.
Yes, I do.
Yes. So
Frank is very helpful. Always goes out the way to lend his landscaping expertise.
absolutely.
So my yard is looking a lot better thanks to Frank's advice and merchandise. I want to give a shout out to Anthony Old School Mitch.
Okay.
I see Mitch checked in from down in
And
North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah.
And as always, every week he's since he moved, he's been checking us every week. So shout to Ed. Yo, we miss you, dude. You know what I mean? And I now that I have a reason to need you to be in Peekskill, you could have been helping me get the paper through there. And now you ain't there no more. So you know what I'm saying. But I'm trying to work with some of my Peekskill people to distribute the paper for me out there. So today, on the way today, I usually don't do much before the show, which many people know because they always try to call me to come cover an event ending at 3, 4, or 5. We got the show at 6. I learned that you can never get out in time. Sometimes you just need to rest. I don't rest enough, so I rest and just relax. Other than maybe church, I don't do nothing on Sunday. But they had the car show, the annual Fleetwood car show that they have every year. It's a successful show. Hooked up cars, old school diesel car, Bob would tell you some muscle cars. Like some of the cars is really, really top notch. You know what I'm saying? And it's people not just in Westchester. Yeah. It's people sometimes out of the country out of the state that come through. So when I'm a rapper, entertainment type of dude. So in your opening weekend, this would be Black Westchester's opening weekend. You do have to make appearances. So I just went to show my face and make an appearance, and it was good. Saw some of the candidates. Shout out to the Democrats for Stronger Mount Vernon. They all were there. And they took out an ad and they got copies of the paper. Mount Vernon City Council candidate Hope Marable, she got a picture and made sure she want to take a picture holding it up, which I greatly appreciate. We're gonna do that with everybody. Shout out to Joanne. I have got to catch the show. I don't know. Do you and Cruz still do the show in the middle of the week? I missed that show that used to come on after us though. Cause they off the hook. I look at their topics sometimes. I was like, y'all are crazy. But the show was off the hook. Cool people. Oh, so Hector's not back. He said he's listening from Wappinger Falls. Listening from Wappinger Falls. That's what's up, Hector.
Safe travels, brother, on your way back.
No doubt. Hopefully. So I don't know what day you left. So I think you made it to Albany by now. Are you on your way back, or are you still on your way up? Let me know so we know how that goes. What day were you supposed to actually be in Albany? I forgot. Shout out to Lorraine Lopez. I don't know if she heard her shout out, but she's on the check-in. Again, shout out to her, and thank you for inviting me to her little family barbecue. I had a great time. So I don't know if she heard that, so I wanted to say it again so she can. So we was talking about this Fleetwood Car show. So a lot of people were there. Ran into former Mayor Davis. You know, he made sure he took a copy, and he bigged us up a little bit and had some things to say about some things. New barbershop, well, not new, but barbershop I wasn't aware of. You know what I'm saying? They're going to start carrying Black Westchester. So shout out to them, because I'll be dropping off copies tomorrow. They're like, yo, you got to bring this to my shop. So, you know, anybody like that, you know, I definitely want to, I want to big them up. I'm looking for his card as we speak right now so I can give him a shout out. Yeah, shout out to my man D, hair specialist, 39 East 3rd Street. I think he said 3rd Street and 2nd Avenue, I believe. So that'll be another location in Mount Vernon where you can get copies of Black Westchester. That's it. Yo, Miriam, you're in, if you can listen, if you can give me a comment, you're not in Yonkers, right? You're in White Plains. I'm trying to get anybody from Yonkers. You know, we're here till 8. Y'all know, if you know where the studio is, you could definitely come by and pick up copies of the paper now while we're on the air. So go ahead.
I just wanted to take an opportunity to extend a very hearty congratulations to you and Damon Jones on the occasion of the publication of the print edition of Black Westchester.
Thank you very much.
I know it doesn't come as any real news to anyone that newspapers and small magazines have always been in the forefront of the freedom struggles of various kinds, most certainly in the forefront of the Black freedom struggle. And I think that the publication of Black Westchester is especially important when we bear in mind that there's been a real decline in local newspapers over the past several decades that have made their principal focus the politics of local municipalities. You know, I've been doing some historical research on the city of Mount Vernon that's forced me to go back and look at editions of the Daily Argus from the 1930s and 40s and 50s. And as I shared with you, AJ, I was struck by the number of articles in the newspaper at that time that seemed to really track the actual goings on in the city of Mount Vernon, local community events, in a way that I've never seen before in any other edition of the Daily Argus that I read when I, you know, came of age as a young man, you know, in the 90s and, you know, and beyond.
Now, did the Daily Argus change to the Journal, or is it those are two different papers?
No, the Journal is the predecessor to the Daily Argus. They kind of took it over.
Right.
It was like
no, because, you know,
it's
like, you know, it's just a historical thing.
Yeah, no, so, you know, it is the latest incarnation of the Daily Argus, but one thing that is evident and was reinforced by, I guess, the firing of several prominent Low HUD staff members, including
Phil Reisman, the columnist.
Phil Reisman, who,
shout to Phil Reisman.
You know, I thought had done a wonderful job in some of his columns covering Mount Vernon's politics.
He also encouraged me. He inspired me to start my own column.
Right.
Few words from AJ Woodson.
Right, and yet
real talk from AJ Woodson. That's what
I mean. Phil, a you know, prominent, nationally renowned columnist, you know, let go of, and so even though a lot of those voices are irreplaceable, nevertheless, it's important that there are institutions like Black Westchester that are coming along and trying to pick up the responsibility for doing local journalism. So I really wanted to applaud you guys because I do think that is going to strengthen democratic participation in Mount Vernon politics, but also the broader Westchester County, which is the focus of your coverage.
And let me also, I'm glad you did that. Shout out to my partner Damon K. Jones. Again, you know, I came back
Definitely.
home. I came back home 2014. You know, take care of my mom and all that. While I was here, Damon was, you know, doing his you know, usual press conference type thing. And he was like, yo, he knew I needed a break, so, you know, from, you know, taking care of my mom. So, yo, why don't you come videotape this press conference? So it was 4 probation officers, parole officers, black parole officers that were up in suffering Ramapo. I guess, looking for a parolee, I guess somebody who broke parole or whatever. So they went to the parents' house, the father's house, and the person wasn't there. And then the local police up there held them at gunpoint for 45 minutes. So he was going through this whole story. So when he gave me back the video of it, I always had a blog. I posted on my blog, like, basically along the lines of, if it's not safe for 4 parole officers with their badge hanging from a chain around their neck with the words New York State Parole on their chest, getting out of a government vehicle, damn, what the hell chance a brother like me got?
Right.
And it was like, it was that kind of thing that Damon was like, he was always looking for somebody who could bring it on that level. You know what I'm saying? We had been partners in a music company, actually, in the 90s. Urban Soul was actually our music company, and we changed it to Urban Soul Media Group, for print. I mean, for the stuff we're doing now. So, he came up with the idea. We got the website together. He came up with the name. And actually, People Before Politics is the name of a blog talk radio show that he did first.
Okay.
By himself, he did it, and so we capitalized on that and continued the name of that. So I mean, I say that because I've been posting. I'm the social media guy. I'm the one that picked it up, and everybody's seeing me. Everyone's saying congratulations, AJ. Yo, Damon is my partner. Damon, it was his conception. Damon is the publisher, co-owner, and this could not exist without Damon. Like, this is not AJ. This is AJ and Damon.
So team effort.
So I want to be clear because people have a way of all you see was, congratulations AJ, congratulations my dude, and then people got a way of like, oh damn, see how you trying to take all the credit, and it's like, you ain't never gonna play us like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They try. Real quick, I don't want to get back to the car show, and but shout out, you said Anthony Old School Mitchell. He said, good evening, my brothers. Shout out to Max Maxwell. He couldn't be here. Said, going big time.
Maxwell.
So proud of you and DK. That's Damon. Tia Newton said amen to something we said. Dawn Seawright said, good evening, Damon. And then we have Shandu Young. Is that
That's my man, Shandu.
Who just went through some stuff.
Yes, his daughter passed away.
Yes,
recently.
Our condolences, real talk. But he's on the check-in as well. I just want to get to make sure I got all the comments and everybody I saw so far, so I don't leave nobody out. Going back to the car show. And because I hadn't finished the story, so it was a good event. I went through. You had something to say?
Yeah. Can I just, since Sean Du did check in, I want to take the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I was giving you the do it.
To provide a public service announcement and let you know that the going home service for his daughter, Miss Nairi Young, is going to be taking place on Thursday, August 10th at Macedonia Baptist Church from 3 to 6 p.m. It'll be followed by a funeral service. If you would like more information, please go to Sean Du's Facebook page and you can access the notice there. No doubt.
And again, for the Black Westchester family and the People Before Politics family, our condolences, dog, for real. Like, right. Our condolences. That's all I can say. You know what I'm saying? So, going back. Like I said, going back to the car show. So the event was good. We went through, met some people, some good people. Actually, might have some interviews, people interviewing us and stuff like that. I saw.
You met the guy who managed me when I was a paper boy.
Oh, actually, yes. I guess I don't know. He hadn't seen you in a while. He was like, "It's Doctor now, right?" He was like, he was very impressed. And then we were on the sidewalk, and Dr. Bob pointed out that Mayor Thomas and his people were here. So I went out to the middle of the street to meet them, and I gladly presented him a copy of the premier print edition of Black Westchester, to which he said, did you get him to come through? I don't know. I hope you're listening, Andre Rainey. I'm not sure. I didn't get anybody. I didn't talk to anybody, so I don't know if they were supposed to come through. I need more information. I don't know if you're asking me, did I get them to come through? I'm not sure who you're talking about. So you have to. I need more information. So I just want to finish the story real quick. So I presented him with a copy. He kind of maybe was a little reluctant, but he took it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm moving on, and I saw the strong Democrats for Mount Vernon, or Mount Vernon Dems for stronger Mount Vernon. One or two of them asked me for a copy, and I'm doing that. And then I guess Dr. Bob and the mayor had a few words.
Yes, so I saw the mayor, as most of our listeners and viewers know. I can be a rather vocal critic of the mayor and his policies, and it would therefore come as no surprise that the mayor wasn't exactly pleased to see me. I tried to be amiable, at least by saying hello to those who I thought would take no offense, and as it turns out, that was Butcher's son, Stevie, who I'm all right with.
Who speaks to us? As a matter of fact, last year I was there. I was across the street. He came across the street to speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, not to be funny, like we were cool with him. He was around the campaign office. He had nothing to do with the politics stuff. We were cool with him. So, go ahead.
Right. So, yeah, and I understand that tensions often run high in politics, especially when people are passionate and ardent about their positions, and at least like me, don't flinch from expressing them. And so the mayor kind of took me to task for saying hello to his nephew, and was somewhat abrasive. I don't know what else I should say, AJ.
So, I mean, what happened? So, I mean, like, I was having a conversation with the individuals for that party, for that slate. I guess they were telling me some of the stuff they were going through in court. They're trying to see. They're actually let me say, they will all be here next week. That whole slate will be here next week. They were talking about some of what they were going through. I guess they had received some challenges. That's been highly publicized all over Facebook and everything, so we don't really need to get into details. But they were waiting for the result of it, and it could come. I guess the judge ended all of the verbal parts, and I guess each lawyer had to send something in, and there could be a decision as early as Thursday, from what I'm told, from several individuals involved. And while I'm doing that, we're having this conversation. You know how you just hear something out the corner of your ear? You're focused on what you're doing, but you hear something and it sounds familiar. And you're like, yo, what the hell? And I turn around and I see Dr. Bob and the mayor, Richard Thomas, having what you would call a heated exchange. Not sure. I think the mayor did not appreciate him speaking to his nephew and told him, I guess, not to speak to him. I'm not quite sure because I didn't hear that part. But all I know is what resulted is the two of them basically kind of face-to-face a little bit, and some words was exchanged. And I think the mayor was trying to, well, I kept seeing him saying, let's go down the block. I'm not quite sure why he wanted to go down the block with you. But right. And then, Alex, who I got a lot of, who he's cool with me, always speaks, was also trying to usher Bob down the block.
Yeah, and this, because I want to be fair, I guess, both to the mayor and to his personal security detail. Alex, I don't recall Alex's last name. Mount Vernon police officer, nice young fellow.
I know it, and I can't think of it now.
He's younger than me. I know he's a mature man, but he's younger than me. I know passions run high, and Mayor Thomas is a human just like anyone else, and so I know that he would be somewhat peeved to see one of his harshest critics before his very eyes. But I would really encourage mayors, and I use the plural deliberately, because this is not the first time that a mayor has approached me in public to discuss, criticisms that I've made, which is fair enough, but also at the same time, while accompanied by his security detail. So it's really, the mayor is someone, I mean, he's the most prominent local politician. And on top of that, he,
Keep
yes, and on top of that, there's a security detail that has been properly assigned to protect him. And it can be a little intimidating, and I'd like the mayor, Mayor Thomas, and anyone who thinks about occupying the executive office in Mount Vernon in the future to consider, if you're going to have a talk with a civilian, try not to approach them with your security detail. I know that's almost impossible, but it happened to me on a previous occasion when I made some critical remarks regarding Mayor Ernie Davis's administration many years ago, and he also approached me and spoke to me with his security detail present, and it's a little unnerving. So I just think that it would be, the mayor would be well advised to consider how you approach a civilian when you do appear to have law enforcement by your side. Now, in any case, I don't know why AJ has left me. AJ has stepped out, and now I feel like I'm rambling on. Have the show all to myself, y'all. I'm never going to be anything but a guest co-host. But in any case, we had an exchange in elevated volume, and eventually I consented to step to the side to talk to the mayor about, oh, AJ Woodson, thanks for returning.
Yeah, our guest couldn't find a place.
Okay.
And only didn't have the radio number, so you had it was my cell number.
Right.
Yes. So you.
So me and the mayor went to the side. We did have an exchange. I must say I was reluctant to have a one-on-one, a tete-a-tete with the mayor because he did have an abrasive tone when he spoke to me. If I'm not mistaken, the mayor might have actually commanded me to leave Gramerton Avenue or something like that.
Wow.
Which,
So you bring out the best in this.
you know. And when we had our exchange, you know, listen, you know, the mayor told me that he was genuinely hurt by my apparent act of disloyalty as one of the most vocal opponents of this policy since he's been in office. The mayor rightly recounted that our friendship goes back many decades, and he told me
a lot of people don't know you've been friends with the entire family.
Yeah.
Like especially the older brothers and sisters. Like
older brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
were
like
even,
you came up. You was always at their house. Y'all always together.
I grew up across the street from
Right.
Kenyatta, Melissa Preston, and George Preston, and Weenie.
Right.
And so that's really extended family. I mean, you know, here I'll, you know, disclose a little history. I mean, Mrs. Thomas looked out when I was, you know, and got thrown out the crib. Miss Thomas let me stay in the crib for a couple of days. You know, so that's extended
Shout
family.
out to Mrs. Thomas.
Yes. And our parents worked together.
Oh, okay.
In, you know, early organizing for the Razorbacks. So I was at my dad, Mr. B, was especially prominent member of the Razorbacks management. After me and my brothers and sisters moved on, my dad stayed on. So I actually was over at the Thomas household when they were on California Avenue and when California Road rather, and Rich was probably like 5-6 years old playing on the Pee-wees.
No.
So yes, you know, this battle that we've been waging has left, you know, I guess both sides feeling bruised, and the mayor told me that he was, you know, taken aback by my public stance against him.
Okay, and and to bring that to a close, more or less, was there anything close to a resolution at the end? I know you walked away. It was kind of quiet towards the end. You were more of a normal tone, like where others outside of the conversation couldn't hear it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So was there a, like, I understand, you understand, or agree to disagree, or some kind of resolution, or?
Well, I guess there was a kind of grudging respect because, you know, I told the mayor that, listen, I get, I'm telling you what, I get excited on air sometimes. I curse and everything. I admit it, and I might, do a little name talking. But as a general matter, I really do try to refrain from those more personal ad hominem attacks on people, and focus my attention on the political issues whenever I'm offering up a critique or trying to spell out reasons why I disagree with folks politically. I am not opposed to the mayor because of our previous working history together on the campaign, but rather because the mayor, I feel, has been disloyal to certain principles that many of his key supporters rally behind him, believing that he would carry out. Mm-hmm. And that's all I could say. I mean, that's where I left it. You know what? I mean, my loyalty is not to individuals. It's to principles, and I'm loyal to individuals who share those principles.
And moving on, and I just want to say also, Black Westchester, specifically me as the editor-in-chief, and one of the two hosts of People Before Politics, the radio show. When I speak, again, I was very heavy keeping Mayor Ernie Davis' feet to the fire, which he did not appreciate while he was in office. And that cause was kind of championed by those that were supportive of Mayor Thomas now. Just because the player changed doesn't mean the game changed. I'm going to be hard, and I'm going to be harder on someone that I supported to get into office, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I helped you get there, dude. Like, I am going to be harder on you. You know what? I expect more from you. We've had conversations. I didn't talk to any of them other previous mayors before they got in office, and and hear from them and go back and forth with them. But I did with you. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm expecting more from you. But even though, and I do know a lot, and we have had this conversation, my editorial titles could have been a whole lot harsher. Titles that made people have to read it. You know what I'm saying? Just brought the attention to it, but that wasn't called for. I haven't attacked. I usually don't attack people. I usually attack the issue at hand, or the policy, or the protocol, or whatever it is that I don't feel like the thing that they're doing. Just because I don't like what you're doing. Just like a parent doesn't like the things that a kid is doing, the parent doesn't hate the kid. It just does not like what the kid is doing. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like some of the things that he has done, and it is my job to speak on it and to educate the people and to bring certain things to the light. And hopefully that's more of a corrective measure for you to straighten up on some things. And that's where it is. But on a personal side, y'all don't hate the man. I actually hope, he fails, Mount Vernon fails. You know what I'm saying? So, I unlike a lot of other people, I actually wished him well and was hoping he would do well, and I actually had hope. I mean, when nobody else did. But it is what it is. Shout out to Corey Pegues, author of Once a Cop, friend of the show. He said, congrats on the printed Paper Brothers. No doubt, no doubt. We actually have to do a spotlight on you eventually, in your book and everything, for the paper. I haven't really got to the point of book reviews and everything yet, but we need to make that happen. We're going to expand into a lot of different areas. We're going to have a section called the Urban Spoon, which is a section that was on the website, but I just never had the time to do it. When you go to the Mangovilles and the chefs and the Sugar Plums and the mom and pop soul food type joints, some of them are like a little hole in the wall, but they're like a specialty in that neighborhood. Mm-hmm. We're gonna spotlight them, and it's called Urban Spoon. But we just really haven't had the manpower or the time to actually go to all these places and do it. But we're going to try to do that a little bit more in the print edition. Shout out to Dwayne Brown, who just congratulated us on print, who we saw also at the car show.
Yes, D.
I went to give him a copy. He took one, but he said I already got my copy, which is always cool. And D, I forgot to get a picture of you. D, I need you to take a picture holding up. I'm trying to get a picture of everybody. So the way I need you to get a picture of you holding up the paper and just send it to me. know what I'm saying? I wasn't even thinking. I was trying to get in and out of there so I can get to the show. But I'm doing that from everybody now. So please, if you can do that, I greatly appreciate you. So moving on, that was that.
Let me
Go ahead.
just interject that at this moment to say, listen, to all of our listeners, the Black Westchester media outfit really is the result of the efforts of two regular dudes, who wanted to lend their voice and their energies to try to give Mount Vernon and Westchester County as a whole the kind of news coverage that it deserves. And, when AJ and I have our talks, I tell him that I think Black Westchester is a fitting example of the new movement towards community journalism. And community journalism relies on everyday members of the public using some of the basic techniques of journalism, corroborating some sources to making sure they've got adequate command of the facts, and putting pen to paper, writing articles that are going to inform their fellow residents about important issues that are going on in either Mount Vernon or one of our sister cities. And so I want everyone who is within, hears my voice, to know that if you want to do some writing, I have no doubt that AJ would, welcomes pieces. He'll do a good editorial review. But if you think you got a piece that you want to write, whether it be on politics or some hard news, or whether it's a movie review of some sort, please consider it. I know that
we are
welcoming
looking
contributions.
For writers. Yes.
All the time.
Yeah, I mean, for Black Westchester, the continued success, 90% of it can't be in my voice. You know what I'm saying? It needs a variety of voices with a variety of different, whatever, but always representing, the black culture, the black experience. So that's what it is. So.
Right, and we have recent examples of that. Derrickson Lawrence's pieces recently about insurance. The insurance.
He did the prescriptions.
Prescription.
And about the I can tell you right now.
And he has a piece in this
Yeah.
print edition, right?
Yes. He has a piece on American democracy is being challenged.
Right.
Yeah. Page 17. Yeah. And, the immigration page 16 I was talking about earlier. That's page 16. Go ahead.
Right. So a lot of y'all who are listening now have, expertise of your own on subjects that the current staff of writers can't really meaningfully address. So if you think you have something interesting to say, by all means, be sure to forward the article to AJ. He'll give it a review.
No doubt.
If there's ways that it can be improved upon, we'll do so. But we do welcome the participation, and this media outfit is only going to get better with more participation from local residents.
No doubt. We got our guests coming in. Y'all got access to the computers. Plug into your social media. Tell them you're here. Whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? If you need the headphones, you got the headphones so you can hear better. I want y'all to introduce yourselves. I met this brother yesterday at the cookout. We were just talking about the cookout yesterday. Me and him met for the first time. I need y'all to pull your mics to you too when y'all speak. So,
you think the microphone would be better?
What?
Yeah.
No. You speaking to the speaking to the
You
mic.
think the mic would be better if I could hear you a little bit clearer?
Oh yeah. It's a matter if you can hear. If you can hear me, if you can't hear clear, put the headphones on. It'll make you hear better.
All right, let me just
Yeah.
real quick. Yeah, let me just wear the mic. I can barely hear you.
Yeah. So introduce my brother right here. Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Dustin. I'm from Yonkers, New York.
All right, no doubt. And you are?
My name is Eric Supreme Rivera. Most of my friends and affiliates call me Supreme.
All right, no doubt. So I was
Peace, brother.
I was having a conversation with my man right here, and he was telling me about justice for Pedro, and he was explaining to me, and it was at a cookout. And I was on my fourth cranberry and orange juice. So I was like, yo, why don't y'all come to the show and y'all talk about, you know what I'm saying, so y'all can explain the whole thing, what's going on. I know there's an upcoming rally for the brother. So find out what happened. All I remember, he got arrested. Why did he get arrested? What was the point?
He got arrested for
And pull it a little closer.
all right.
Yeah.
He got arrested for a shooting that he never did. He didn't commit.
Okay.
He got arrested at 15. He was sitting on Rikers Island that whole time.
Okay. He's this is in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Okay. So he got arrested.
So let me start from the beginning.
Yeah, please do.
Because the story is a lot complex, and as you start peeling the layers off the onion, you start seeing that it is more to it than just Pedro being arrested. So Pedro had an altercation with 3 detectives from the 42nd precinct a few months before he got arrested for this case. About 6 months prior, he was accused of another shooting, and he was arrested for that. His mother hired a private investigator. She paid him $6,000, and then the private investigator found footage that Pedro was actually helping her out with some shopping bags from Walmart at the same time the shooting occurred. They took the footage to the DA's office, who at the time was DA Slot, who was handling the case, and even with that evidence, Slot took 6 months to dismiss the case.
Okay.
So, Pedro had to wait 6 months for that. While Pedro, right after Pedro finished that case, he kept having incidents with these same detectives, and
right here, the Wi-Fi password is right there.
he kept having issues with the same detectives, and more cases started coming. They got to the point where the cops were harassing his mother. They put his picture in the precinct at 15 years old to kind of condition all the officers that were on duty. If you see this kid,
bring him in
for whatever, anything he does. A prime example of that, he had a little situation as a 15-year-old, had a scuffle in front of the building with another 15-year-old. Normally, that's a disorderly conduct. When they took Pedro in, the kid had lost his house keys, and then they turned around and charged Pedro for robbery. So he had to get bailed out for that.
Wow.
So in this case, the 3 cops, which is Dreyer, Daniel Brady, and Terrell, they had a seal indictment filed against Pedro for another shooting. And Pedro was brought in. He was given a $250,000 bail cash bond with $500,000 property, and needed $250,000 of equity in it, which is a bail that's only given to big time drug lords. So he was sitting around for 11 months. I heard about the story, and when I jumped on the story, I tracked down his mother. I told his mother, I think I could get your son home in about 7 days.
Yeah.
So I started the traction. When I started the traction, I reached out to Sean King. Sean King wrote a story on it. The story went viral, and we was able to
This is the Sean King story right here.
Yeah, we was able to sit down with Kerry Kennedy and the RFK Foundation, and they bailed him out. So he's currently out on bail. So the rally next Thursday is about the DA dismissing the case totally. I'm also asking for the Attorney General and the Governor to step in to deal with the corruption in the 42nd precinct. These 3 officers have possibly locked up anywhere from 50 to 200 black and Hispanic boys on false charges. Some of them are doing prison time for it right now. So a lot of these kids, they throw them on Rikers Island, they're forced to take plea bargains even though they're innocent, because the conditions on Rikers Island are so terrible that they take the plea bargains. A lot of parents don't have the money to get a Kennedy lawyer involved and beat these cases. So we're asking that at the rally. We're asking for, to overturn or to look into all those cases that Slot did with these officers as well. Because, the corruption goes all the way up to the DA's office. So it's a sad story. They took Terrell's badge. You can look it up. They took his badge and his gun already. He was there's a video footage of him throwing dice on the corner. He had a young man cuffed in the back of his car, and he's throwing dice with some dudes on the corner, telling him, if y'all win, I'm gonna let him go. The kid got processed.
Oh, get the hell out of here!
Yeah, it was all over.
Get the hell out of here!
No head cracks on that roll, huh?
Yeah, brother. So, I'm the East Coast Director of Afro-Latino Unity for the International Black Freedom Alliance, which is a organization that was started by Tory Russell, who also co-founded Hands Up, Don't Shoot in Ferguson. So, you know, we got a lot of support. We just got a lot of support. Justice League NYC has jumped in and helped out a lot.
Okay.
Got a lot of support on this.
So now, and you went to where I was going next. I wanted to talk about you a little bit. You know, your history. How did you get started doing? You know, getting involved in stuff like this.
What, activism?
Yeah, I mean, like what you know, what in the current organization that you're with now and all that. How did all that come about?
Well, I met Tory at last year at Savior's Day in Detroit. We were sitting on stage with the minister.
Okay.
And me and Tory, we kicked it that whole weekend during Savior's Day, and you know, I liked the vision that he was going into, and I told him I would step in and help him out with whatever I can do on my side. Prior to that, I'm still a member of the Nation of Gods and Earths. I've been a member for over 30 years.
Okay.
So it's something that's been natural to me to help out my peoples.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Lorraine Lopez said the kid's story has gone viral. She saw it many times on social media and TV, and she's even shared it on her Latino Empowerment page.
Yes.
So, you know, a few weeks ago. So
It's an
Lorraine
injustice.
is a good friend of mine.
Yeah. It's an injustice what happened to
Yeah.
Pedro. It's an injustice what's happening to the rest of these children. It seems to be a war on our children. You know, back in the 80s and 90s, there was a war on black and Hispanic men, and it was incarcerating everybody. And then a couple years ago, the war started on women. So, you know, the prison population of women has went up 700% already. And now there's an apparent war on our children now.
right.
So as a community, we have to get together, band together, because the power's with the peoples. You know, law is nothing. Law is the weakest thing in this country. Law means nothing without a power behind it, without the community behind it. This is why congressmen and senators, they can't do but much if they don't have the power or the voice of the people that's coming in behind them.
Okay. My partner is probably about to call up, because he just asked me for the number. What's the organization? Talk about the organization again. What's the name of it? Because I didn't.
International Black Freedom Alliance. The International Black Freedom Alliance, you could go to theibfa.org. You could become a member. Next week is the rally on the 10th, Thursday the 10th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to be out there in front of the district attorney's office, you know, expecting a lot of people. We have a lot of elected officials. Gustavo Rivera is going to be talking. A lot of organizations. Justice League NYC, Carmen Perez is definitely going to be up there. She's going to be opening up. We have a lot of community religious leaders that are going to be speaking on this matter. And that weekend is also Mike Brown's weekend. You know, we celebrating the 2nd year anniversary of his death. So we're going to be, you know, touching on Mike Brown as well.
Okay.
So can you just tell the audience where exactly is the
Oh,
rally
I'm sorry.
taking place?
It's on 198 East 161st Street in the Bronx. Right down there, right in front of criminal court. That's right down there. You know, we ain't gonna have there's not gonna be no traffic that day.
For all y'all who don't know your way around the Bronx, you just go down and take the Deegan down to 161st.
First, or you can take the 4 train, the D
4,
train, get
yeah.
off on 161st, and I'm sure you're gonna just follow the crowd.
Right.
We got a caller. Caller, you're on People Before Politics. Please state your name and your purpose for calling.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, AJ?
This is my
What's up, Bob?
my host.
D, what up?
My fellow host, Damon K. Jones. He's not here, but he's involved in law enforcement. He's a big advocate. He stands up for a lot of stuff.
All right.
Yeah, I commend those brothers for the work that they are doing in bringing awareness to this young brother. I shared his story on my page, and this is just a continuing of injustice to people of color, black and brown people in the United States. And it just shows another example on why many black law enforcement officers have lost their way when you see the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives hosting an event with Attorney General Jeff Sessions. These are the issues that, we try to address as black law enforcement, so it won't happen again. You can't sit here and have police officers who are sworn to protect the community, and from what these young brothers are saying, this young brother has been targeted, by these police officers, personally, and made him public enemy number one, and by any means necessary to try to put some type of charge on this young brother. We cannot be in any type of denial that there are many stories that are exactly like this brother. We cannot be, and we cannot also be in denial that the DA's office, even though you will bring evidence that will clear someone, they will continue to have a grand jury, and we know the DA's office can indict a ham sandwich if they want to. That has been an age-old saying, in the justice system. But when you bring credible evidence, all done was wrong, an innocent person, and the DA's office refused to address those evidence and go on and to continue to go on to have a case, is really upsetting in itself. So I wish brothers luck for what they're doing, and this young brother is just like
We missed that last part because you break it up. Say that last part again.
Yeah, I just I wish these brothers luck, and we support them 100%. But I want to make one thing clear: when you have these elected officials at your rallies, do not allow them to make it a photo op for their reelection or a photo op for them to say that they did something. Make them put legislation in place to stop these incidents from happening. The problem is that our elected officials, especially the black, brown, Latino ones, they have been enablers of the racism that is in our local police departments. We can't deny it. They are the legislators. So why haven't they put laws in place to stop these incidents from happening? Why haven't they forced the mayor and the police commissioner to change policies and procedures and practices to stop these incidents from happening? See, we gotta start holding our own elected officials accountable. And if they're not going to do it, we gotta vote their asses out. It's simple as that. We can't play no more, and we can't tolerate Negroes that are going to bow down to a system and not address it. Whether they're judges, whether they're police officers, whether they're probation officers, whether they're correction officers, whatever officer that they're in, and even elected politicians that bow down to white supremacy and allow our people to be subject to this type of governmental oppression, because that's what it is. So, again, I'm sad that I'm not there, and I wish I was there to commend these brothers personally. But hopefully next week we're going to try to get out to the rally and support y'all. But we have to start holding our elected officials accountable. And y'all young brothers, I see y'all young brothers, don't allow these politicians to show up and grab the mic and then disappear, because that's what they do. I've been in this thing for 28 years. That's what they do. So we got to hold our elected officials accountable to have some type of transformation of the justice system that it would be justice for all. Because right now, it's not justice for all. And as a law enforcement officer, I know too well. I've seen it. I've seen it as being a black man on the street, and I've seen it as being a law enforcement officer. It's not for us. Mm-hmm. The only reason why it's for us, because the only people they're locking up is us. And let's understand that. But let's hold our elected officials accountable. Y'all young brothers, get your young brothers and sisters out and vote. Maybe y'all might want to run for office yourself. But if they're not doing anything and they're not changing legislation, then they're no good to us and they're no good to the fight that we're trying to fight.
I kind of feel them on that one.
Yeah.
Some people really do that. Like they be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go with this movement just to get my followers up or to get people to vote for me."
No doubt, no
Well,
doubt.
well, the motto I live by is justice or else. I don't believe in justice for all. I believe in justice or else. You're going to give us justice or else. They've seen fragments of what happened in Ferguson. And the country, you know, people of color, I think the whole country is moving in that direction already. There's too many injustices going on around the country. There's too many Pedro Hernandez is going on around the country.
Right, right.
We've been hearing these stories for years.
Right.
But now we actually have something tangible. When Pedro's mother was first telling me the story, I thought I was reading a John Grisham novel. Like,
Word.
I thought I was reading a novel. I was like, yo, this is 2017. This could not be happening. Like, what? Like, these officers, these three particular officers, Terrell majorly, was preying on young mothers, young beautiful mothers like Pedro's mother who had young teenage boys. They would make sexual advances at them and tell them, yo, if you have sex with me all the time, your son is safe from the police.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's
mean,
some
we-
real gangster shit. I've
Like
heard.
I've seen footage of kids stepping forward that were held at the precinct, at the 46th precinct for 3 days, like beat up and forced to sign statements on other kids, forced to sign statements on Pedro. And the kid is on video telling the private investigator, man, I never even seen Pedro a day in my life. And they held me for 3 days in that precinct. But just to give you a little bit of history on the 42nd precinct, the 42nd precinct has 20% of all complaints by civilians in the entire city. They own it. One shift, the
Where
311
do they
shift.
cover?
They cover down there by like 149th Street and Grand Concourse, that area.
Right.
But 20% of civilian complaints all belong to that one precinct, that one shift, 3 to 11, where Terrell and them work on. Terrell had 40 complaints placed on him already before this whole thing blew up. He had already been on review 40 different times
Right.
and kept his badge and his gun. 17 officers from that shift are all under investigation. This is one precinct
Wow.
that's destroyed families in that community. And these are the things that we're going to be talking about at the rally. And the brother's right about the elected officials that speaking. The elected officials that are speaking are elected officials who helped us get the permit, because without them we wasn't going to get the permit. Also, these elected officials are they are fighting for bail reforms. It's
You
something.
said, what you said, the 42nd?
42nd precinct.
Okay. I was going to say that's the Fort Apache the Bronx, but that's the 41st.
So hold on, brother. I just want to say, like, these elected officials are trying to pass bail reforms into legislation in New York State, something that I believe in. You know what I mean? Also, they're challenging CPL 240. See, CPL 240 is very destructive to us because it's a law that the DA uses where they can hold back evidence that may clear you from a crime until the day of trial. They don't have to give that up to the day of trial. So that means if a guy's waiting 3 years to go to trial, the DA don't have to give you that evidence to the day of trial. That may set you free.
We just saw that in Westchester. A young man was held for murder, and there was supposed to be footage that he was having a fight in the projects like 5 blocks away at the same time that he is supposed to have pulled the trigger. And his attorneys found out, again, when the court started.
Yeah.
And then they lost the footage. So they never even got the
But
footage.
yeah, it's CPL 240. So that's another something that we have to change too in law. Because it's it should be a moral responsibility of a DA to get to the truth and to get to justice. But the way law is set up now, it's not even about who's telling the truth, who's telling now, who's just and who's unjust. It's about the DA he'll throw dice at a trial because most DAs feel like the juries is gonna come back and convict people that look like me and you.
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't a DA go with that?
Well, I mean, the American judicial system has major problems, and I think at the root of them is the fact that there is set of perverse incentives for both prosecutors and police officers to deliberately try to incarcerate someone that they may suspect is not guilty of crime, because that's how you come up. That's how you advance in prosecutorial and police ranks, by demonstrating that you're doing an effective job of protecting the public by locking people up. And there have been many who have challenged this particular mentality and whether or not the public good is actually served when both sides take this kind of dogmatic position that my only obligation to the public is to lock up people. And the more people we lock up, the safer we are. I do want to point out, too, interestingly, that the New York Times just ran a extensive article in the Sunday magazine this week entitled about prosecutorial misconduct, entitled "She was convicted of killing her mother. Prosecutors withheld the evidence that would have freed her." And there's actually a series of court rulings that have tried to impose upon prosecutors the obligation during the discovery process,
The moral
to make
obligation,
sure
yeah.
that defense attorneys have full access to all of the evidence that has been uncovered. And this was supposed to mark a major shift in American jurisprudence away from these kind of almost like, I don't know what the article referred to them as, the kind of almost like a blindside trial where you just show up and a motherfucker could accuse you of anything. The prosecutor can accuse you of anything and present the evidence on the spot and not even have given you as a defendant an opportunity to review it.
Now, can we ask you a question? So, the DA can do that. Can the defense attorney, but has to turn everything over? If they have evidence,
they can hold it. In Pedro's case, I can't really talk about what we got, but
No, I'm
but
just
we
saying.
don't have to turn. We don't have to turn in anything that we're going to use at trial to prove his innocence.
Okay,
No,
okay.
but out of good faith, we have the old legal team, because now he has a better legal team now. Before he had a public defender. Now we got the Kennedy law firm involved, and we also have Alex Spiro involved. So now the new team, I'm sure, is going to have a sit down with the head DA, Ms. Clark, down there in the Bronx, and see what happens from there. But let's not get this messed up neither, brother. The judicial system is working exactly how it was supposed to work.
Yes.
This ain't, people say the system is broken. I say it's working perfectly. What we have to do is break the system and
Right.
and then rebuild it back up, because
Right.
it's working perfectly.
Right. Well, I just want to say, and I do agree with trying to change the law, but at the end of the day, the most important elected official that we vote upon is our district attorney. And
Well, Ms. Clark wasn't voted in, brother. She, Robert Johnson took the judge. He got voted into a judge, and she was second in command, and
Right.
it kind of got passed down to her without being
I
voted.
understand that, brother, but the next time she's going to have to run. She's going to have to run, and every other district attorney in the different boroughs. We don't vote for them if they are not opposed of that law.
Mm-hmm.
See, we have to make sure that they do not get our vote. If whatever her name is, Clark, if she is going to do what she did, then we make sure that she doesn't get voted on. See, the problem is that we continue, even though we have injustices in our community, we continue to vote on the lever on which they tell us to vote on. And that's part of the problem. I understand changing the laws, and I think the law should be changed. And I think we need to be up in Albany, to make sure that we change the law. Go up there on lobby day and lobby with the rest of the people. But we also need to let this DA know that she would not be elected ever again. She might as well hang up her hang up her DA badge if she's going to continue and do our people this way. Because if you're a Democrat, you need the black and Latino vote. right? If you're running as a Democrat, you can't get in without the black and Latino vote, especially in the Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens, or wherever in the five belt. We're building.
Let me update you on Miss Clark, D.A. Clark. When she was a judge, she sat on Khalif Browder's case 3 times. She had 3 different times to release Khalif Browder. So this is why we're rallying very hard, because, you know, we refuse to allow Pedro Hernandez to become the next Khalif Browder.
I agree.
And that's one of our motivations. We have a lot of great organizations that have been very supportive. Like I said, the Justice League, NYC. We have a sister that has her own program called Beyond the Box, named Layla Martinez. We have so many different organizations involved. We got support all the way down to Ferguson. That weekend when Chicago, Atlanta, DC, and all these cities do their Mike Brown rallies, they're also going to incorporate Pedro Martinez. So we you know, as black and brown people, we working together, city to city.
And I agree, but I also suggest you sit down with the Democratic chair. See, we're good at coming together, and we're good at rallying and marching, but we also must understand that there's a political process that takes place that's outside the rallies and marching and everything. Look, Al Sharpton is getting ready to have a march at the end of this month in honor of Martin Luther King Jr.'s rally for jobs and justice. We've been damn near marching almost 50, 60 years for jobs and justice, and black and brown people still don't have jobs, and we damn sure ain't getting no justice. So the marching part is great. It brings awareness. But one part of it, where Martin Luther King has spoke at the end of the year, is dealing with the political process. The political process. I would say to you, my brother, that you need to get these organizations that has boots on the ground in the Bronx and meet with the Bronx Democratic leader and give him a warning. If you run this woman, she will not get elected. Give them a warning. And support her opposition, but also make sure that that opposition, right, agrees to your agenda and what you're trying to do. See, because we can rally and march all we want, but if we're not putting people in those positions that are actually going to do what we need them to do, then rallying and marching doesn't mean anything. And I'm just giving you advice, because your brothers are young, and we don't want to get caught up in the marching and rallying again, and we're not actually changing the political process, how the political process works in our community, because that's the only way we're going to get positive change in what we're trying to do here with actually justice. And that is the justice or else. Because, see, if you're not going to put a person in that's going to give us justice, then or else is they won't get elected. That's part of the justice or else. So we have to,
or else is everything.
Right. The two things I want to say. Speaking of justice or else, our guest today was supposed to be Minister Hafiz, but he wasn't able to make it, and he will have a column in our Black Westchester. Make sure you get a paper on the way out. Our first edition. He will have a column starting next month, every month in Black Westchester. Secondly, we talk about Martin Luther King, and
Brother Hafiz is going to be at the rally too. So
okay, that's what's up.
He's coming to the rally.
People talk about Martin Luther King, but they forget the part, or that somehow it doesn't get through. Martin Luther King worked to change legislation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that was the goal. So he was working with, the president was calling him in, you know what I'm saying, to how we can get this to stop on the streets. Duty, change this legislation. This is what we need. And if you're not going to give us, this stuff is not going to stop. You understand what I'm saying? But he worked with them, and he used that to get their attention. You understand what I'm saying? But the marching by itself, we shut down Brooklyn Bridge today. Everybody goes to work tomorrow. Yeah. I mean, it was inconvenient for 4 hours. And I applaud everybody who does it, but then the people who go to work the next day and nothing changed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
I believe. I stand firm on what you're saying. I just know that the super team that we've built.
Right.
behind this. This super team, like this is a team that you've never seen being built before. This is brown and black coming together.
Right.
It's usually either all black
Right.
or usually all brown.
Right.
And the media never covers both of them together.
Right.
But this is a super team that's been built that I believe that moving forward we're gonna start getting action. We're gonna start seeing results, especially in New York, because these politicians, like you're saying, the elected officials are involved now. They on a grassroots level seeing these organizations come together at meetings. We had 2 elected officials come to our meetings, and they seen the power in numbers, and they know it's time. Oh, y'all not listen. I'll be the first one out there campaigning to not reelect anyone who goes in opposition to justice, especially for my people.
That's what's necessary. That's definitely what's necessary. Yo, we're gonna in the September issue, August was our first issue. September, you know, in honor of Hispanic heritage, you know, coming up, we're going to be covering a portion of the paper is going to be covering that, and I think I want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Feature
definitely.
what it is you do with your team. I want to do something on that on the team. Yeah.
Definitely.
So we'll talk offline and set that up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to echo what Brother Damon said. Although I think that protest is important, we should be clear that it's not sufficient. And
By
that-
itself.
But it is not sufficient by itself, and it's been one of the major weaknesses of, you know, the activist community across all colors. Over reliance on these one-time episodic protests, when the process of policy change and reformation is a complex multi-step process that requires that we be around the negotiating table when legislation is being written. And what I'd like to see, and I'm a long-time activist. Matter of fact, everyone, y'all can all shout me out. I just celebrated my 50th last Saturday. Y'all didn't see me on the show, but I'm 50 years old. I've been in the struggle for a long time. As a matter of fact, I'm a professor at Bronx Community College, and I mention that because Kelly Brada, as you know, is a former BCC student.
Oh, so you know my aunt? She was Carmen Vasquez.
I could.
That's my aunt.
You know, I'm gonna have to. I'm trying to dig through the memory banks thing.
She was I think she was Bronx Community, the president's assistant.
Oh yeah, I gotta know it. There's no way. You know, I used to have a couple of presidents on the opposite side of the negotiating table during protests. So, you know, that's my experience has been that. And here, this is an act of self-criticism of me and my generation of activists, and some of the mistakes that we made, that we didn't find a way to effectively translate our grievances into policies that would, you know, reform some of those problems. And there's a lot that y'all are talking about that's on the table. But you know what? I mean, I applaud y'all for picking up the torch, because y'all, I know you said 30 years, so I'm not, we might be close.
Well, you know, back in the day, when you turned, you know, like joining the nation of gods and nerves, a 5% nation at that point,
Right.
those age at that time,
Right.
you know, you would join young,
Right,
8,
right,
9. You
right.
know, I read the autobiography of Malcolm X at 9 years old.
Okay.
I didn't know any FOIs around me, so you know, the only thing that was around me was the nation of gods and herbs. So I've been, you know, that's where that comes from.
Right. You know, and it's a testament to the, I'll say, the ideological power. I would just say the 5% nation, because both of my brothers, God rest, you know, deceased, passed away, but they were both 5%ers, and you know, I found that some of the fiercest activists out of Mount Vernon had close affiliations with 5%, and I think that's because of the stress that they placed on knowledge is the key to, you know, so much.
But shout out to the Nation of Islam. I have
Definitely.
a lot of friends in the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
I got a few mentors, you know, my boy Jason and Arthur Muhammad from Mount Vernon.
Oh, Brother Arthur, yes.
Yeah, Brother Arthur.
Friend of the show, yes, definitely. Friend,
Me and
yes.
Brother Arthur, we worked on the Snug program together.
Okay, Snug, okay.
We
Right.
opened it up together when it first opened up. So, and you know, I moved on to other things.
Up in Mount Vernon.
Well, he had
What
the
did
Mount,
you-
he
you
had
had
the
Mount
Mount
Vernon?
Vernon site. I had the Yonkers site.
Okay.
With Miss Howard.
Sean Patterson.
Yeah. Sean Patterson Howard.
Another
Yup.
good sister.
Yeah,
Another-
so she instilled a lot of good things in me as well. Very smart, intelligent black sister.
Oh yeah. You know, I have to say, by the way, I think Sean Patterson Howard is really one of the real standouts, community leaders that Mount Vernon has produced, and I encourage everyone to pay close attention to what Sister Howard says about a lot of the political goings on in the city. I think she speaks from a position of both moral principle and also, political insight and accuracy that is indispensable to anyone who's really wants to know what's going on and get a good insight. So definitely, brother, you've been.
Yeah, so you know the rally, brother, next Thursday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Just for Pedro. August 10th. On
there a flyer?
198
Is
East,
there a flyer?
161st Street. Yeah, we got it on Facebook. You know, my Facebook is Eric Rivera, and you'll see a picture of me and Pedro together. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of people out there, a lot of powerful people speaking, a lot of great organizations. I would love everybody to come out and support. And this is just one aspect of the issues in our communities anyway, man.
The funny thing is, people gotta support this. It's like, it's
So war on our
Pedro
children right now.
Hernandez,
There
you
you
know
go.
what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's Pedro Hernandez, but a lot of the kids is going through this right now. Like, even in Yonkers, not just the Bronx, Queens.
This nationwide,
This
brother.
nationwide, yeah.
Listen, we're gonna start with Pedro. We're gonna try to free these other 200 kids that these 3 cops done set up. And I'm sure, brother, that every borough has this issue. Every county with its black and Spanish people got this issue. This will be a problem that we'll probably be battling this for the next 10 years.
Absolutely.
Just freeing people.
Absolutely. We helped the gentleman in Peekskill got caught up with the Yonkers cops that was falsifying affidavits, and he's been free for a year now. But he had done 4 years for something he didn't do. He was sentenced for 15.
But I want to underscore a point that Brother Eric is making, that one of the real criticisms of the American criminal justice system is that it continues to abuse the bail system.
Bail reform.
American jurisprudence is based on the principle that people are innocent until proven guilty. And
Unless you're
bail
black and
was
brown.
supposed to be a mechanism to ensure that only the high-risk individuals did not either attempt to flee or were not released into the public only to do further harm to the public. Barring that, bail is supposed to be kept at a minimum. And there's a growing realization that the bail system is being abused and is leading to prolonged periods of detention while people are simply awaiting trial. And we know that's what happened to
That's what happened with Pedro. They gave him a bail that's only set for drug lord kingpins. $250,000 cash bond with a surety. The surety means if Jay-Z and Rock Nation would have cut me the $250,000 check, the DA wanted power to go into Jay-Z's financial records for 3 years to prove that this money didn't come from drug money.
Wow.
They make
okay.
it now. Pedro's original indictment was only reckless endangerment and possession of a firearm. See, the judge, his name is Barrett. See, I'm gonna show you where the corruption
That's what we do
Judge
here.
Barrett. So this is where the corruption really comes in at. Judge Barrett.
B-A-R-R-E-T?
Yes,
Okay.
Judge Barrett only handles gang-related cases in the Bronx. DA Slot, because see, Judge Barrett is a DA's wet dream. He approves everything for the DA, shoots down everything for the defendant. So, in order for Slot to get his case in front of Barrett, he had to tell the clerk that he was looking to indict Pedro on gang-related charges as well. So once the case got brought to Slot to Judge Barrett, even if Slot never brought the indictment forward, he just stuck with Barrett. Slot asked for a $350,000 bail, and Barrett said, "No, I think that's too harsh. I'm gonna give him $250,000 bond with a surety, $500,000 property
This is him?
with $250,000."
This is him?
Where? Yeah, I believe so, y'all. So we got lucky that the week that he was able to get bailed out, Judge Barrett was on vacation for a week. The legal team was able to sit
What's
down.
the DA's name?
Slott, DA Slott, SLOTT. You'll see him. Real conniving, corrupt. You should show a picture of Terrell too. I call him Afro-Saxon. Yeah, that's what I call him, the Afro-Saxon. Yeah.
Listen, brothers. I just want to say something, man. You know, and I commend y'all, brothers. Y'all have a lot of knowledge on who's who in the political circle, and I just want to give you this advice from experience, right? Y'all know too much,
Yes.
right? These politicians ain't gonna be fucking with y'all like that, cause y'all know too goddamn much. You gotta hold these politicians to the fire because y'all know too much. Y'all know how this game is being played in the Bronx. Y'all know what these judges is doing. And don't get it twisted. Your state senator, your state assemblyman, your city council, your DA, your judges, they all part of the same gang. Don't get it twisted. I'm just telling you from experience.
Definitely, brother. The whole system is together.
Don't get it twisted. So while y'all blowing it up, y'all also need to be sitting down and figuring out who will y'all be running for these positions when they come up for election. Don't make the mistake that we made, where we trusted politicians to do changes and they're not. Start thinking about who y'all gonna run for these positions. I'm telling you in advance. I'm just telling you out of love because I love your energy and I love what y'all doing.
Is that him?
But there's one mistake that we
That's
made.
Terrell. Yeah, that's Terrell. Yeah.
It's
he's blowing on the dice.
thinking that
Sorry,
it's
brother.
thinking that these politicians. And thinking that these politicians is really going to allow you to blow up the system like that. They all related. They all connected. They all part of the same party. They all part of the same gang, which is the Democratic Party. So what y'all have to do is start thinking who y'all going to run in these positions. Pool your money, pool your resources, and finance campaigns, and get these no good bastards out of office and change your community.
I got a great idea, brother. See, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. To me, is the same devil with a different shade. That's how I feel. But what we need to do, and hopefully one day some of these community activists that are friends of mine, I need my community activists, the ones that are on these ground roots that have the community's ear and have the pulse of the community, they need to start running for office. That's what they need to start doing. And you know, people like Tory Russell and Carmen Perez and even Layla Martinez, all these people that have a pulse in the community, even myself, I don't know if they'll let me run, but we need to start getting into these political offices and setting the tone. That's what we need to do.
No, I agree 100%. That's why I said what I said, because of the fact that you need to pool your resources and start running people for office, because that's what has to be done. You know, that's what has to be done, because y'all know who the players are. You already know. You already identified who the who. Yeah, you already identified who the dirty dogs are, right? And how they're playing the game. But if we're honestly going to think, what are you doing? If we're honestly going to think, if we're honestly going to think that they are going to, you know, change, these Eagles are going to change their stripes, it's not going to happen. You know, power concedes nothing but the power. So we have to be able to advance our agenda through power. You know, and if we're dealing with legislation, policies, and procedures, we have to put those type of legislators that, you know, that are in there. You know, and I hear what you're saying. I love your passion. You know, I love what you're doing for the brother. You know, and we're going to be out there also, but we have to start thinking on. We have to start thinking on that level at this point. And young brothers like you, y'all have to think, y'all have to start thinking like that, and put people in office and control the campaign funds, because whoever pays the piper holds the tune. And look, I rode with Eric Adams. That was my man, 50 grand. And he became a state senator, and now he's Brooklyn borough president. But his agenda has changed. Why? Because the people that raise money for him are not the people that look like him. So let's not get it twisted. Even if they come from the activist background, once they get in, their agenda might not be the same. And that's from experience.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not just think because they're activists and they're on the street and they rah-rah fight the power that they get in office and everything is hunky-dory and they're going to be for us. That's not always the case neither. And that's just from experience. That's just from being in the game for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And we cannot continue to go in circles and continue to make mistakes, because of the fact that we're not seeing no changes. And we have to move for changes. So, that's just just little advice to your brothers, because
the time is
we got to move forward.
Yeah, the time is now.
Yo, this is crazy, right? So, Lorraine's like, yo, you got to come to my family cookout. So I go to the cookout, and I meet her nephew, which was with my man right here, and he started telling me the story. And then, 24 hours later, y'all here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, this
was like a one-day process.
It's like, yo, this is how we have to use our collective talents, collective power, or whatever words you want to use.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is what white people do. You know what I'm saying? And it happens
go.
that fast. Like, you met him and he taught you on the show the next day and you doing whatever. That's how we got to get down. And it's funny because I wasn't going to go at first. You know what I'm saying? I was running around trying to get the paper out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, I need to chill. She's like, come on. So I ended up
And
going.
it's a story that has went viral.
Yeah, that's what she
Not
said.
viral on TV, but, the millennials is always on social media.
Right.
So it went viral with the millennials on social media. It hasn't really went viral. It will go. It will. The story's going to take a whole different spin on Thursday because
we're gonna cover it one way or the other.
On Wednesday, me and Carmen, we're going to be on the Roland Martin show on Wednesday.
Oh, power.
So that's going to be nationwide.
That's going to be beautiful.
And we're going to cover this. And I know Sean King is working on another project as well coming up soon surrounding this. We're going to be on Ebro in the morning show on Wednesday as well. So it's going to pick up traction. So they're going to have to come in, intervene, look into this. They're going to have to sit down with the private investigator because, like you said, we not voting for them.
And we gonna edit the show like to just this portion that y'all are on, and put that out as an article and send it to you so you can share that to all your people too, and then people can hear you talking about it and see you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, word up. So one more time, and here's the flyer. I guess. Talk about. Just want to keep begging that people ahead. The rally is when?
The rally is next Thursday on the 10th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. 198 East 161st Street, in front of the DA's office. I just want to say, one person I forgot, and I should not forgot, is Jessica Perez, which is Pedro's mom, who she's been incredibly a strong woman throughout this whole ordeal. She was fighting this battle by herself, practically, her and the private investigator. And it's a lot of women like her, man, going through the same issues. Their babies is locked up. They don't have no resources. And if I just want to say to your listeners, if you got a situation like this and you know for a fact your child is innocent, man, reach out to me on Facebook, Eric Rivera, inbox me. We'll come look at your evidence, and if I feel like you standing on justice and there's some injustice being done, we rolling with the traction. This is what I do. We have a model that works, and we have an incredible team that's willing to work 24/7.
And let me say to you, if you have a situation you need to get the word out, I mean, I'm going to give you my number. You holler at me, and we get that,
Yeah,
we do what we do on our side, you know what I'm saying, to get the word out. So
Definitely, I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we got to work together. Word up. Changing the tune a little bit. I know my brother over here. Just so they know, I know he done videos. I heard he was really nice in the video game. That's what I was hearing. That's
I
what
ain't gonna say I'm nice.
I was hearing. You know, he knows his way around the camera a little bit. So, is there anything like people can go on now and see that you have done, or?
Well, I got a couple videos on YouTube. My YouTube link is Corner Kings with a K.
Okay.
I had K.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. That's what's up. And we gotta get your boy on here because I ain't hear him, but I heard he spit. Lorraine nephew.
Pure.
Yeah, I heard. I ain't get to hear him spit, but I mean, I heard about. You know, he kind of nice.
I'm not gonna lie. You got Pure, Kedwin, and his boy named Tone. They all three. It's crazy.
Word.
Whatever day you got open, I mean, I had them come out here too.
No doubt. We gotta make that happen. Definitely gotta make that happen. Do you have anything else coming up? Say your website or how to contact you and anything like that.
Well, right now, is the rally, brother. If you need to contact me, the best way to get me is through Facebook. Eric Rivera. You'll see a picture of me and Pedro. Or I'm on Instagram all the time at Superstar Supreme. And that's the best way to contact me. If you got a child that could use our help and you don't have no resources, just reach out to me and we'll get this going again.
That's what's up. Yo, like I said, this just popped up on some random whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, this, you never know how powerful things.
Yeah.
We started, Damon and I. We started this to have this voice that y'all can, you know, and give y'all a forum to come up here and do this. This is, I mean, we end up dealing with a lot of politicians and what mayors are not doing and what this one's not doing, and you know, holding their feet to the fire and showing who they are during the election process, so you can make educated. But I love to deal with when we're dealing with the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people before politics. Unfortunately, politics is in everything. You know what I'm saying? So, but I enjoy these kind of interviews where, you know, like I said, this forum.
And the things I'm learning every day, like,
right.
I learn so much every day, man. Shout outs to Wade from the Robert Kennedy law firm. Man, he teaches me so much more now, and I'm learning so much more about law and how it really works. And when you start learning about law, you see that law really doesn't work. Like, it's so weak, man. Like, law means nothing, man. And it's crazy. It's the people, the communities of this country is what pushes law. Is what forces law to work.
Right.
And I'm learning that.
No doubt. And the more, you know,
And you know, this is a whole different spin for me. This is my first time really taking the role that in as far as community activism. I've always been in the background because I was, you know, afraid to speak. You know, I used to go on tour for many years with Mobb Deep, Prodigy. You know, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Prodigy.
Was a really good friend of mine.
Yeah, I know him well too.
So this, you know, is a whole different new ball game for me. But you know, like everything else, you adapt. And I'm rolling. I think I'm staying.
Bro, I tell you, you know, big up to you because we thought you was a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
You came in here correct. You know what I mean? So I would have never known. You guys are doing a very effective job, and you know we encourage you to continue.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Shout. She told me about the Mobb Deep thing. I had a group back in the days, JVC Force, had a joint, Strong Island, and that was one of Prodigy's favorite joints. He always kept saying, "Yo, I want to sample that joint. I want to do something on that joint." And I used to write for The Source, and I interviewed Bars and Hooks for that Under the Radar section. That group he was putting out, and they gave me the whole tour. You know, Queensbridge.
When you was at The Source?
I was a freelance for years.
Oh
so,
no,
yeah.
my boy writes for The Source now. Shabi Allah.
Okay,
Shout out
okay.
Shabi. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now I haven't done anything for The Source in 2004. I think the last article I did, Fat Joe was on the cover for Lean Back. That was like, yo.
Man, I was away for that.
Yeah, so that's like literally, and the Goody Mob had came out with the album without CeeLo. I did a 4-page spread on them in Atlanta. So that was my last joint in The Source. And it started paying like really, really, like, yo, people was waiting like a year for their money. Like, yo, I'm just saying, like, that just wasn't working. I was married at the time. That wasn't working, being married. Yo, but baby, this check's coming, though. But, yo, that wasn't working.
This is a Benzino still era? Or
This is when Benzino was there. And I knew them, you know, from the beginning, too. when Dave Mays went to Harvard, and Benzino and then was RSO.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then, and two
Made
of his
Man,
members.
then he had
This
the
is
other
before
group.
them. This is
Before Made
RSO.
Man.
Yeah,
Wow.
the almighty RSO. They was on Tommy Boy.
Wow.
They got kicked off, and that whole Cop Killer thing with Charleston Heston sent the lyrics to Cop Killer for the Ice-T's group to the shareholders, and everybody at Warner Brothers got kicked off for anything. And they had a record called One in the Chamber because two of their members that got shot by the cops. You know what I'm saying? It was like no matter who you deal with, cops anyway, keep One in the Chamber. So they got dropped for that from Tommy Boy.
Wow.
And then they changed their name. Then they became, I think, Made Men, or it might have been another name before that. Then Made Men, and then something else. Yeah. So I remember Benzino when
And that's crazy.
when he was Ray Dog.
You see what you said?
When
Like,
Benzino,
two of their friends got shot
Yeah,
by
by the
cops.
cops. Yeah.
And it's 2016, 17, and we still getting shot
And
by
this is
cops.
and this was when I met them. This was '88. You know what I'm saying? When I met them, they was in, Dave Mays was still in Boston, the dude from the Source. He was still at Harvard. He was still a Harvard kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and two of their boys, Rock was the name of one of them. I can't remember the second dude, forgive me. But Rock, I remember I met Rock. I got to chill with Rock. Cause it was like, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I've seen a lot of people in hip-hop die, man. Just the crew members, the people in the background, like, it's just too many of us.
Yeah, but with Prodigy, man, that was like
Yeah, that was something.
that was something out of this. I don't even. It still hurts to talk about it because Prodigy still wasn't done. He had so many.
Yeah, I know.
Not even music. I'm talking about he had so many other things that was coming out soon. You know, he was working on an Illuminati play.
Right.
So there was so many other things that was coming out, and to be honest, brother, I don't even know how that happened.
He was coming to his own knowledge. Like, he was coming into. I think he was about to be more vocal about a lot of things that they didn't want them to speak about, like type of things. Like,
He was already preparing for that, But it was unfortunate. The way he passed away was very unfortunate, tragic. I still don't know all the details. I just know about the autopsy report came back and whatever, and I don't know how the hospital slipped up on that, So how could you not know? How many hours went by before you found him? And so there's a lot of questions that, I'm sure his wife and his children are going to be asking soon.
it was a great loss for the hip hop community as a whole. Like, I mean, it's just
I
great.
keep saying,
A great
Biggie
loss,
and
man.
Pac, Since
Yeah.
Biggie and Pac, this is one of the biggest losses to hip hop,
Yeah.
just in terms of music and his
Yeah.
catalog.
Yeah.
I remember when I first went on tour with him, I had just been released from doing 15 years in prison.
Okay.
So, and I didn't never understood the magnitude of how powerful they were and how hip hop was. Because I was away most of the time. The last album I heard before I got incarcerated was like Lethal Injection or something like that. It was like West Coast was still popping. Illmatic wasn't even out at the time.
Right. Oh wow.
So
Wow.
I got to hear Illmatic. I was in Comstock, Great Meadow Correctional Facility, when I first heard Illmatic. I remember April 1994.
Wow.
But when I first went on tour with them, they something happened with the other road manager or something, or the merchandise person. Something had happened, and they flew me out from New York. I remember I got the call early that morning, and they're like, "Yo, pack your bags. I got a ticket for you, LAX. Your flight leaves in 2 hours, 2.5 hours." I'm like, "What? For what?" "Yo, I need you. We need you." I landed in LAX. The first show we did was at a place. It was a House of Blues in LA, I believe.
Okay.
Jam packed. It was my first time on stage and seeing this power, because Prodigy had just came home too, not too long before that. And then that same night, just their work ethics, like, "Yo, we going to bed. We got to catch another flight early in the morning. We going to San Diego." We went to the Stingray. Matt Cohen, really big, powerful dude, good dude too. He did the one he was running the One Oak Mirage in Vegas.
Okay.
So he was bringing a lot of top-notch acts. And when we was at the Stingray, yo, dude, it was like my head stand up in my body, just the power that the music. When Prodigy used to grab that mic and like when certain songs used to come on that he used to have to spit, the crowd used to go. I got footage forever on my phone. the crowd used to go crazy, like, and you know, the white fans that they had, people don't understand.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Mobb Deep has the same fan base that Wu-Tang has, like almost on the same level.
I mean, anybody who sells over 150,000 units, and it's maybe less than that now. Maybe like you sell them on a 75 to 100,000 units. You have white fans. Like you're selling to the white. You're not just making music for the community no more.
And back then, you know,
what I'm
they
saying?
went platinum maybe
Right,
once
right,
or twice
right,
gold.
right.
You know, they got 4 classic albums
Right.
back to back. So they have a great catalog of music. So it was just
They still got one of my favorite Lil' Kim collabos. That was like
the Quiet Storm
That was
remix.
like one of her best after Biggie performances ever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One of my fondest memory of P was we was in Austin, Texas, South by South Festival,
Yeah.
and he came to my
South by
room.
Southwest, yeah,
South
yeah,
by
yeah.
Southwest, yeah. Week we stayed out there a week. Man, it was crazy. But I remember he had came to my room. He's like, "Yo, you hungry? Let's go eat." So I'm like, "All right, let's go eat." So me and him walked together to Olive Garden, which like 4 blocks away. We walked, and when I got to the table, he's like, "Nah, I'm ordering for you." What? I want to order my own food, but he ordered for me. But he got me some spinach, some ravioli stuff with spinach, cause I hated spinach. He's like, "Yo, telling you, brother, when you eat that, you're gonna eat spinach for the rest of your life." So I ain't gonna lie, it was so good though. It's like my fondest because he made me eat spinach, like something my mother never made me do. But it was banging, bro. Like, and then now I go back and get it again. Like, yo, let me get the ravioli stuff with
Nah,
spinach.
he was the righteous dude though, for real. Like, I mean, you know, we got to know each other a lot. Like I said, he was a fan of my music. You know what I'm saying? And he always bigged us up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. You know, and I followed their career from the beginning, man.
Beautiful brother.
Yeah.
Shout out
No
to
doubt.
the whole Mobb Deep family, Big J, DJ On Point. He was the tour DJ when we was going on tour together. You know, Havoc.
Right. What's he doing now? Do you know?
I don't know, brother. I'm not. That's
Uh,
above my pay grade.
Right. I haven't heard his name come up. That's the reason I, you know.
Well, I think as a person who was in that inner circle, I think it's a lot for him to deal with as well. Cause
Right.
the bookings came because of P.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, in my opinion,
because he was trying to hold it down when people was locked up, and it just wasn't the same when it wasn't the same until he came back out.
The bookings come because of people paying $25,000 to see Mobb Deep. Promoters, 45-minute shows, but if P don't show up, P had, I don't know, something about the way he used to spit, man. People will go crazy.
Right. Well, we coming to the close of the show, man, and like this is definitely a definite breakup from the usual political campaign interviews, political politician interviews. I really want to seriously. I know we talked about music and a lot of other things. We could talk about that forever, me and you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take away from the importance of what y'all are doing and the organization.
Yeah, the
and,
rally,
and,
brother.
and,
Next Thursday.
And everybody, I implore you to go to the rally.
Justice Pedro, man.
Yeah, and we're gonna follow this story. You know what I'm saying? Because when he's telling me, I started writing down on my phone, like just so I wouldn't forget to come home and start looking at it. You know what I'm saying? So even if y'all didn't come, but I mean, I learned a lot. Like there's a lot I didn't know, and I mean,
Please, man, everybody, please come out to the rally. You can bring a Khalif Browder picture if you want. Bring a Mike Brown picture, or you could copy my flyer and use Pedro Hernandez picture. Just come out. We have a lot of important information for the community that day. I'm hearing the meat is coming all out. They're coming all out, and you know what I mean. So it's gonna be definitely televised that day, and we're gonna work from there. Again, if you got a child that's innocent, he's innocent. Corrupt cops done played with your kid's life and freedom. Hit me on Facebook, man. Eric Rivera.
there it is, right there.
Hit me on Facebook. Yup, right there. It's a picture of me and Pedro when he came home on bail. Yup. Normal kid, man. Normal 15. He's only 16. And let me
Right.
tell you about what happened. All right. Let me tell you about the abuse he went through. When he first got arrested at 15, they put him in a juvenile detention home. A staff member abused him, broke his out, beat him up really bad. The staff member got arrested. The staff member used to be an ex-correctional officer from Rikers. When Pedro goes to Rikers, COs that are affiliated with this CO maced Pedro in his face, cuffed him, made him sit laid down on the floor for 8 hours with mace in his eyes. Pedro went in with 20/20 vision. He lost 40% of his vision in his left eye.
Wow.
8 hours. But these are the stories that we don't hear about, the general public don't hear about. How an innocent kid goes onto Rikers Island and goes through all this. And which I didn't know was the real reason we had to bail him out so fast is because when he was on Rikers Island, he earned a scholarship to college for getting the highest GED score on Rikers Island. So the Posse Foundation gave him a full scholarship to go to, but he had to use it before August 30th. So this is why the
You had to
traction
go back,
became so
right.
bigger, because we didn't want him to lose his scholarship, especially if you're innocent.
Yeah.
So he had the scholarship. The DA said to him, listen, you want to go to school? Take this probation. I'll seal the felony. It won't hurt you later on in life. They won't be able to see it. And Pedro told him, no, I'm innocent. I'm not taking probation, which I'm glad he did, because then the story would have never been as big as it is. And what kids need to understand, when the DAs offer you probation and they claim to seal the felony, all that means is that they won't charge you as a second-time felon when they do rearrest you, if they ever do again. But it'll still affect you at work. If
So
the
that
cops,
information always gets out.
yeah, it's always gonna come out. The only thing that it won't affect you in is that you won't be charged as a second-time felon. That's the only thing it protects you from. But if you innocent, I mean, I know it's hard to say, you know, don't take the plea bargains, because a lot of kids don't have the resources, they don't have the money, they come from poor families. So it's hard for me not to say that, but reach out. There's people out here that are willing to fight for you.
No doubt. No
Civil
doubt.
rights, human rights people willing to fight for you.
Dr. Bob, I know you got any follow-up, any last words, anything to add to?
What we can do is continue in the struggle. So I encourage everyone to make it out to Thursday's rally. I'll try to get down there. I know I'm off, but I always have other projects I'm working on as well.
Well, let me know, brothers. I'll get y'all some VIP, some necklaces, so you could stand, you know.
Yeah. It'll be
in the stage
me, him,
area.
and Damon that's on the phone. That was it'll be the three of us.
All right.
I ain't gonna lie, I might have to get my
Text me the names, and I'll
Okay.
have the Justice League. Make sure y'all get on that list. The press list.
And I bring some papers down too. Cause
if y'all want to bring cameras, y'all press.
you know, we're gonna have all that. We're gonna have all the camera. Yeah, we're gonna have our own stuff.
My friend Hector too. I might have to have him come up here because he has this thing that's in Yonkers called Stop and Shake.
He's been here.
Oh, he's been
He's
here. Oh, okay.
constantly, all the
Hector,
time.
yeah,
Okay,
Hector.
okay.
Just talk to him. He's in Wappinger Falls
Yeah,
I
right
just
now.
seen him on my live. That's why I was like, you know what?
Shout us out.
He's
Okay.
he's in Wappinger Falls right now.
Okay.
He said calling in from Wappinger Falls. Like he just checked in earlier.
Yeah, about an hour before y'all got here.
Yeah, he been on here a few times.
Yeah,
He comes
was
in
here
anytime.
2
Yeah,
weeks ago.
anytime we be talking, be like, yo, just stop through. And the door, like 10 minutes later, it'd be Hector just popping up, like just for the hell of it. So yeah. So I support that brother. I met him back in a police community relationship type of thing at the Riverfront Library, probably 2014, and then I've been watching his movement since then. Like something about him when he spoke, I was like, yo, that's a young dude you got to watch. You know what I'm saying? It's like. And I've been watching his movement then, and I know he put together a rally, one of the protest rallies in Yonkers, and I covered that, and then the Stop and Shake thing. So but I'm proud of that dude though. Keep doing what he's doing. Word up. So we coming to the end. Any last words? Anybody? Any last words?
I'm good. The rally next Thursday on the 10th, 11 a.m. 2 p.m. 161st in front of the District Attorney's Office. Justice for Pedro.
No doubt. Now, Bobby, over quiet there. You always have something to say.
Well, I mean, I let my words in the on Black Westchester speak for me this week.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, you have the stunning article there this week.
you know, my
we need to put more
semi-annual.
stuff. Yeah, we need to put more. We need to motivate you to drop more of them joints. Like when you're passionate like that, it was powerful though. Seriously, powerful.
Well, I mean, you know, it received coverage from the both of us on Black Westchester, and the essential point that we were both making each in our own way was that the mayor lost the administration, the Thomas administration, lost its most recent ruling in court regarding in its battle with Andre Wallace's firm Constructive Design over the unpaid bill for the Emergency Operations Center. And it was really stunning to read the judge's ruling, and she found that she ruled against the city for two reasons. Number one, because they filed a damn brief late, and who the hell ever heard of something like that? I mean, y'all are well-paid professionals, and you surely do not show the proper respect for the resources of the city by turning in stuff late. It's not acceptable.
I want to, and you can read that on Black Westchester, but before I leave, because we got very short time, and Oscar sent me this, and this is something that I've been following. The fight to keep Mount Vernon, Mount Vernon has been a central library in Westchester County, had central library status since the beginning, and other municipalities that have more money are trying to get that central library status. And while the attendance has been so strong at the meeting, at the library meeting, and at the library itself, this Thursday as well, August 10th, 6 p.m., they're asking everybody to come back to the Westchester Library System's headquarters, 570 Taxa Road in Elmsford. Everybody from Mount Vernon needs to show up in numbers, and just, you know, you got to fight to keep this. Mount Vernon library has a lot that a lot of other libraries don't have to offer. But anyway, so that's what it is. Continue that fight. The fight is not over. I thank everybody who's come out already, but we got to come out again. Thursday, August 10th, 6 p.m., Westchester Library Systems headquarters, 570 Taxa Road, Elmsford, New York. With that, we're coming to the close of the show. I just want to thank our guests for coming through. It was a pleasure meeting you, hanging out with you yesterday for the first time. It's crazy how we met, but we're going to definitely be working together on some stuff, definitely, very, very soon. Bob, I just want to say, putting out this paper this week, again, the Black Westchester, I could not have done it without the help of a lot of people, but Dr. Bob here beat me up journalistically,
just a little bit,
with my commas and my grammatical errors, and to the point that we was arguing like, "Fuck it, man! You don't want my help? I'm leaving." Like, I mean, we was like, "That's the way I'm gonna write it. I don't care." Like, so, but he helped whip it in shape, and I could not have done it without him and several other people. But I just want to applaud that brother. He really worked with me. You know what I'm saying? Because he had to have some patience. Because real talk. You know what I'm saying? But and his involvement in a lot of things that we do right now with Black Westchester People Before Politics has been invaluable. So big up to my man.
Well, I appreciate it, AJ, and I hope all of the readers of the paper appreciate just how much work you put in, because you put in a hell of a lot of work.
Hey, I mean, ain't nobody gonna do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to make it happen. Mm-hmm. Damien had to go out of town for a conference. Like, I said this was coming out in August. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? I put my name on. I willed this down. Like, word up. So, thank you for all the advertisers. Most importantly, get your ads in for September. The deadline is September 15th. Anybody who's contributed any articles and pictures, anything, I need everything. September 15th. We want to have this article. We want to have this issue out before the Labor Day weekend. Back by the 30th or the 31st, so I can have it for that whole Labor Day weekend for any events or anything coming up. You could be doing anything else right now, but you decided to ride with us, and we greatly appreciate that. This is Black Westchester Presents, the People Before Politics radio show, every Sunday night, 6 to 8 on InTheMixRadio.com. Next week, we will have the Democrats for a Stronger Mount Vernon candidates. They will be that slate coming on, all of them. We will ask them the tough questions and hopefully vet them enough that if y'all feeling them, y'all will be able to make decisions at the ballot box that make sense. All right, until then, peace.
22 million black victims of Americanism are waking up, and they're gaining a new political consciousness, becoming politically mature. And as they develop this political maturity, they're able to see the recent trends in these political elections. Any minority that has a block of votes that stick together is in a strategic position. Either way you go, that's who gets it. You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You and I have never seen democracy. All we've seen is hypocrisy.